What is up, everybody? Tuberversity here today, and we're gonna talk about this crazy announcement from Sony. Apparently, with the PS5, they didn't fail to meet expectations. Even though this console is selling a lot, it's out selling on Xbox. Apparently, they didn't meet their goal, and apparently, the console is entering the latter stages of its life cycle. I don't know what that exactly means. What that means, they're gonna be done with PS5 soon and do the PS5 Pro thing. Hopefully this article from IGN goes into more detail, because what is going on here? How are they not meeting the goal expectations? After sales of the PS5 failed to meet expectations, Sony has said the console is entering the latter stages of its life cycle. Sony has set an ambitious target of 25 million PS5 sold. I don't really care about how many consoles they sold, but apparently it's big to Sony because they're crying about how does this meet their goal or whatever. I guess a lot of those PS5s have been. I'm wondering, a lot of these PS5s, because people were speculating that these PS5s like in scalpers' basements, especially when the PS5 was first dropped. I don't know if it's like that now, like a scalper's just holding on to like dead inventory at this point because nobody wants to buy it and they're taking a loss. I don't know, but apparently they're not meeting the goals. They're not meeting their goals they need to hit. So, but as now, so they want to hit 25 million. And has now forecast down to 21 million after PS5 sales on a crucial holiday. I heard they recently had like a discount too for these PS5s, so they're definitely trying to reach that goal, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Especially with no big first party games. It's like Spider-Man 2 can only carry you so far. It can only go so far. If you don't got no big first party games, ain't nobody buying that PS5 like that. There's only some people who can play Fortnite and Call of Duty. Because people want to see some big major games that's going to make you wild and amazed from playing a PlayStation. But the PS5 launch, we know what it launched already. Yeah, I don't see Death Stranding 2 even being that game that makes me want to buy a PS5. So they didn't hit the goal. So boo-hoo for Sony. I don't care. It's just like, wow. People have only just recently been able to get their hands on one, and Sony is pulling a plug. Shameful company. Did they even explain what that even means? Like, what does this latter stage comment even mean? Like, what does that mean? Looking ahead, PS5 went into the latter stages of its life cycle. Masuka, I don't know how you pronounce that name, is quoted as saying, as such, we will put more emphasis on the balance between profitability and sales. For this reason, we expect the annual sales pace of PS4 hardware will start falling from the next fiscal year. Okay, so they think, so that latter stages mean it's not going to sell as much as it did before, because I guess nobody else wants to. It's kind of like at a cap right now. I guess they're trying to say with this. I can kind of see it. It's like the hype, I guess, like the celebrity influence hype died down for the buying of PS5 and etc. So, they don't got the LeBron Jameses or the whole OnlyFans models telling you to buy a PS5. So I guess that hype has died down. So, well. Gonna last for so long. I have not once seen anything that convinced me to buy this console. You mean you don't want to play The Last of Us for the third or fifth time again? Oh, that didn't convince you to buy PS5? Or you could play Call of Duty and Madden that you can play on your Xbox? That didn't convince you to buy PS5? Where are the games from Sony, man? Where are the first party games? Sure, they got Helldivers 2. I don't care about that. That's not gonna move the needle. You got a fake generic Starship Troopers game. That's not gonna move the needle for people to buy a PS5. Where is that bread and butter, that big AAA quality stuff from Sony at right now? Well, they get to drop Spider-Man 2. That can only go so far. Where's Ghost of Tsushima 2 at? Where's KOTOR remake at? I don't even want to speak about KOTOR, man. They did that game dirty. They did that game super dirty. Oh, we're going to do a nice little Republic remake. Well, please, 5 exclusive. Then they just never speak about it again. Wipe the trailers from their YouTube channel, and it's just like in limbo at this point. Aubrey GX says, excited, when's the first game coming out? Literally just bought one a week ago. PS5 is such a trash console, man. It is so garbage. It's just sad to see. So they're in the next. They don't expect to sell any more consoles. So, and people are saying that, hey, Xbox is gonna go third party. It kind of sounds like Sony might be going third party quicker than Xbox, to be honest, because the Helldivers 2 game is doing really well for them on PC. So I think they're going to take notice of that, because if they're having troubles with this PS5 selling, and it's like they call it a later life cycle, whatever it's called, they're probably going to put more games on PC day and date. I'm starting to see that might be the move they do. So I don't see why they want to go full third party. I wouldn't say full third party, but they're going to do more day and date stuff. And it will be kind of funny if they go third party before Xbox does. That would be hilarious. But let's see. This guy says, probably the best looking game since the launch of the PS5 was Demon's Souls. Really? A remaster? Oh, no, my bad. A remake. That's the best looking game. I'm not really seeing why Tony people be too excited to get a PS5. You just, the biggest game you're hyping up is a remake from a PS3 game. Really? I think Sony has basically given up on the PS5 at this point. All the news about console sales meant absolutely nothing, because they are losing money on console sales and software is down. It was just a cover-up, but people knew PlayStation was doing this bad. Lots of people wouldn't. Where is that? Wouldn't have purchased one. The PS5 was in worse shape than the media has led people to believe. Yeah, people were saying, they were bragging about these PS5 sales, but what's the purpose if these sales aren't really doing anything? It's not doing anything. They're not making too much money on these console sales like that. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Sony is barely supporting the thing as is, barely giving it any actual good games after Spider-Man 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they had already moved on to the PS6 by now, and considering the PS5 already an afterthought. Okay. It's almost like not supporting the console will cause something like this. Consoles needed to go through. Now I get crap because I'll say that this is the worst PlayStation generation by far. The PS5 is not that great. But again, you got Sony saying it's not that great because nobody else wants to buy it. I was like, they think it's at the end of the cycle right now. They gotta release a new hardware to get people more motivated to buy the thing. So folks couldn't deliver for 2 years, and they thought folks were gonna run out and grab them all when they finally started getting it right. LMAO. They haven't even justified the PS5 yet. Now, honestly, I can't even argue with that statement right there. Because I think about the games I have on PS5 that I'm enjoying, and it's Square Enix games. It's like Final Fantasy 16, the Final Fantasy Remake, Part 2 I'm looking forward to. Then again, that's not Sony. Why should Sony get credit for that? That's Square Enix who's making those games. You're just money out of those games off Xbox. So I'm not even getting Sony credit for that nonsense. So it's like, all people rush out to get this thing. You definitely aren't giving any people incentives about this PS5 system. It's like, once again, once all the celebrity mainstreamness of this thing wears off, like, who's gonna buy the console then? You're gonna keep paying LeBron James to promote this system? Like, what are you gonna do after this point? Nintendo in the cut like Birdman. They about to take all the money. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like Nintendo's releasing some new stuff very soon, either next year, so that might be a true statement. They might be taking that cut that Sony's, that they might be taking a big cut from Sony at this point. Maybe if you let real gamers buy it from the start instead of resellers, then it would not have been like this. Too late now. Cool, so you can give a Solo Blade early on PC. The modders are waiting. Yeah, this is their next bigger game too. Like, once again, I don't see no average person buying this game. People only buy this because of the sex appeal. So it's like, I don't think people are running out about this game either. And this is their other, so quote unquote exclusive. And they have this trash handheld right here that nobody cared about. So it's like, it feels like I'm just saying the same thing. The PlayStation is trash. They just made several bad decisions this generation. The PlayStation Portal, PSVR 2, no big exclusives. It's just like, wow. Stop taking 5+ years to make games that move on from PS4, please. But this is cap is selling better than they thought. One generation, yet no games. This is what the average PlayStation fan is saying about their console. There's no games on it. It's like, you released Spider-Man 2, that game was like a week. You play that game in a weekend and you're done with it. So it's like, there's no games to keep people sticking with the system. But I'm going to include it right here. You saw what they said. They think it's in the later stages of its life cycle. And they expect it to sell too much more. So that's probably why they're going to rush out this PS5 Pro. If that's really going to do anything. And you might be hearing news out of PS6 at some point, because they think the sales for this thing is pretty much done at this point. It's at its cap, so who knows. But I'm going to include it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.